A sigh of relief came over Watson as he neared his final destination. A few days ago, he received word that his services were needed in the Hook, where the Manhunter's base was located. He had just finished a project repairing the walls of Last Stand in the Sten Desert, where the Shek continued to battle the onslaught of skin spiders that continue to push towards the north. When your walls are falling apart, your gates stop closing, and your turrets stop shooting, you send for Watson. He was the best engineer and architect that money could buy. A loner by nature, Watson wasn't a part of an architect's guild. New contracts were sent to way stations where he would frequently visit to acquire his next job. Watson traveled all over the world and worked for anyone who would hire him. Watson approached one of the Manhunter leaders who looked like he was about to explode with rage as he began to speak. "Thanks for coming on such short notice. A group calling themselves the Dragon Clan assaulted our base, killing and wounding our members. They broke down our north gate and sabotaged our harpoon turrets so they can't fire. Fix the damage as quick as you can. When we're back to full strength, we'll find them and make them pay." The Manhunter leader left to attend other matters, leaving Watson to start on the repairs. Watson started working on the harpoon turrets. The attackers managed to damage the firing pins, preventing the harpoons from releasing. After making a few adjustments and straightening out the firing pin, Watson signaled for the soldier to fire away at a nearby bandit. The bolt hit the bandit in the arm, causing him to stumble and run away. "It looks like it's working, good as new," Watson said, making his leave from the ramparts. The north gate wouldn't close and was in dire need of repair. Watson found that the winch was jammed, keeping the gate from coming down. Sifting through his backpack, Watson pulled out his tools and began to repair the gate, freeing the jam on the winch. After a few hours of hammering out the metal grill in the places that needed straightening, the gate looked good as new. Watson inspected the exterior of the gate to make sure his work was complete. In all of his years of engineering work, he has never left a project unfinished. He always delivered the best of his abilities. The next day, Watson approached the Manhunter in charge, giving him his report. "I've repaired the harpoon turrets and the north gate as requested." The Manhunter looked at Watson without a care in the world. "That's great. Now get lost." Watson looked perplexed. "What about my pay? It's 10,000 cats for the repairs." "Why don't you collect your fee from the men who attacked us? We're not paying you a dime, and there's nothing you can do about it," the Manhunter said as he waved his hand, motioning his men forward. Manhunters began to surround Watson, their sword arms itching for payback. Watson shook his head. "Fine, consider the repairs free of charge." "That's really kind of you," the Manhunter said, shooing Watson away from his sight and out of the base. The road back to the nearest way station would be a long one. Watson was down 10,000 cats and he needed another job as soon as possible. He wouldn't be able to keep the loan sharks at bay for long. If only Lady Kana would have accepted the price to build his fighting arena, it would have been the most magnificent building in the land, capable of holding many spectators. Watson remembered pleading with Lady Kana's guards for days to gain an audience. When the guards got tired of him asking, Lady Kana decided to indulge her curiosity with his proposal. Watson remembered the evil look on Lady Kana's face when he told her the requirements to build such a magnificent building. "1,000,000 cats! How dare you quote nobility that extravagant price? Who do you think you are? Get out of here before my guards hand you over to the slavers." 1,000,000 cats was an extensive amount, Watson thought, but it was going to take a lot of building materials to produce such a monumental building. A few days later, Watson could see a way station in the distance. He had finally found his way back into the border zone. This would be a good resting point before heading northwest towards Admag, the Shek capital. If the United Cities weren't interested in his arena, perhaps the Shek would be interested. After all, they were always fighting amongst themselves. Twerkinator headed towards the bar to order another grog. While the bartender poured her drink, Twerkinator noticed that the entire clan had taken over the bar, resting up before their journey back to Moonshine. When Twerkinator turned around to go back to her seat, she realized that it had been taken by another patron. Twerkinator cursed. "9 hells, that was my seat," her words lost in all of the noise. As Twerkinator looked for another seat, she noticed a skeleton sitting quietly in the corner and decided to talk to him. "Hey, I'm Twerkinator, what's your name?" The skeleton looked up, trying not to lose his train of thought. "Watson." Twerkinator and Watson chatted throughout the night. Being both engineers, they had a lot in common. So if I just had the backing, I'd be able to build the most impressive arena in the land, Watson said. The wheels in Twerkinator's head began to spin. We could use an arena. Why don't you speak to our leader? Twerkinator called out to Aviticus Dragon from across the bar and introduced him to Watson. Watson here can build us an arena, and he has the architectural experience that I lack. Aviticus Dragon looked Watson up and down before speaking. Is that true? Can you build us an arena? If you fund the development and provide the materials, I can build you an arena of legend, Watson said proudly. After discussing the details further, Aviticus Dragon shook his head. This is going to clean out our coffers. However, if we charge people to fight, we just might make back what we spent. Alright, Watson, you've got a deal. This better be worth it. Aviticus Dragon reached out and shook Watson's hand. Welcome to the Dragon Clan. Watson's smile began to fade. Crazy Lizard found it hard to sleep. The rock-solid bed caused an ache in his back. Magnus's snoring didn't seem to help matters either. Perhaps a nightcap will help me sleep better, Crazy Lizard muttered, heading to the bar. Crazy Lizard motioned the bartender with his hand. One grog, please. Sure thing, the bartender said. The way station was quiet, but there were still a few patrons left chatting. Crazy Lizard sipped his grog and looked around. He noticed a man at the far table who appeared to be from the swamplands. What is he doing here, Crazy Lizard thought. Crazy Lizard decided to introduce himself to the Swamper, and they began to chat for a while. Well, cactus rum is the best most people can make, but I do know one lad who can make blood rum, the Swamper laughed. He's high most of the time, but he sure as hell knows how to make some amazing rum. Do you think you can tell me where to find him? Crazy Lizard's eyes began to light up. Well, if memory serves, he's got a camp somewhere in the swamps over here. The Swamper pointed to the circle on his map. After thanking the Swamper, Crazy Lizard headed upstairs to wake his leader up and asked him to meet him at the front gates. When Aviticus Dragon arrived, Crazy Lizard began to explain that he needed to go and find someone who could teach him and the clan how to make blood rum. Well, we leave at noon tomorrow. Try to be back here before then, eh? Aviticus Dragon said. And be careful. Crazy Lizard nodded and began to run out of the gates in search of the blood rum brewer. A few hours into the night, Crazy Lizard made his way to the deepest part of the swamp. Sane men wouldn't come out here alone. He noticed a fire flickering in the distance and headed towards the light. A man sat quietly by himself with a pipe in his hand. He indicated for Crazy Lizard to hold on while he inhaled an impressive amount of hashish. What brings you to my pad, Hiver? The man said. People around here call me Haze. Take a seat and join me. Crazy Lizard sat down and began to explain why he was there. Are you the blood rum brewer? Crazy Lizard asked anxiously. We need someone to teach our clan how to make it. Yeah, man, I know how to make it, Haze said, preparing another hit. You see this, though? This is my own custom hashish. It's stronger and more potent than anything you've ever had. Are you sure you don't want to fly? I'm only here for knowledge of making good blood rum, Crazy Lizard replied. Well, that's a shame, Haze said, showing his disappointment. I'll make you a deal. If you hit this and you are still standing tomorrow, I will come and show your clan how to make blood rum. If you're not, well, don't say I didn't warn you. Your choice. Fine, have it your way. Crazy Lizard took the pipe and began to inhale. Slowly, his eyes began to feel heavy, his breathing lightened. As Crazy Lizard looked into the fire, a whiteness began to blur his vision. Images began flashing through as fast as lightning. What did it all mean? Her Majesty, the Hive Queen, appeared in Crazy Lizard's vision. She turned and looked right at him as if she was standing there in front of him. They will betray you. Crazy Lizard's eyes turned black, and sleep overcame him. The next morning, Haze woke Crazy Lizard up with a swift kick. Well, it looks like you're still alive. I guess I'll keep my end of the bargain. Crazy Lizard and Haze began to walk back towards the way station to meet up with the rest of the clan, hoping they would make it in time before they left. The visions from last night still haunted Crazy Lizard, but he decided it was best to keep it to himself for now. The clan was preparing to head out when Crazy Lizard and Haze arrived to greet them. After the introductions were made, the clan began to head back towards Moonshine. When the clan arrived at Moonshine, everyone picked up their regular duties. Watson began to study the surrounding area to find the best location to build the Dragon Clan's arena. After surveying the area, Watson realized that the arena wouldn't fit inside of Moonshine's walls, even if the walls were extended. The arena was a massive structure and it would need to be built outside. Perhaps it was fitting, having the most magnificent arena as its own destination. Watson found suitable enough land to lay the groundwork for the arena design, and it was going to take a massive amount of time and materials to build the structure. The last thing the arena needed was a name, something to bring fear and awe to those fighting and to those who would visit its wonder. From now on, it would be called the Thunderdome.